This family and business will never rise unless I'm in charge.
Hey, welcome good people to Ike Motivation Stories. So Savage Beauty Season 2 comes out on June 28th, 2024 on Netflix. So we're gonna do a recap of Season 1. Let's go. Season 1 starts with the Bengu family hosting an event where they'll be making an announcement about the future face of their beauty empire and revealing who the new face of Bengu Beauty will be as voted for by the public. Mr. Bengu arrives at the event with his two wives, Grace Bengu and Thando Bengu, but refuses to answer questions about
why ask the public to vote for the face of Bengu Beauty but not have them at this event?
The new face of Bengu Beauty is revealed to be a dark-skinned woman named Zintle. But panic breaks out when the screen behind shows a picture of her, but she's been photoshopped to look light-skinned. After the event, Mr. Bengu's youngest son, Endu Bengu, gives Zintle a ride home, and there seems to be some chemistry between them. The Bengu family decide to explain the Photoshop incident as a
technical malfunction. Get it?
Later, Mr. Bengu decides to visit his side chick, but while they're making love, he suffers a heart attack and ends up hospitalized. Endu visits Zintle and asks her out on a date, but she politely declines.
But we're friends though.
After Mr. Bengu's family leave his hospital room, Zintle sneaks inside and is about to suffocate him with a pillow until his daughter Linda Bengu returns to the hospital room, forcing Zintle to hide. Mr. Bengu recovers from his heart attack and informs both his wives that
I'm taking another wife. I've already found someone who's going to give me more children.
His wives are unhappy about this, but he is unconcerned about their feelings. After this, Mr. Bengu's wife Grace tracks down his side chick and forces her to have a pregnancy test. The side chick confesses that Mr. Bengu had promised to marry her, and after the pregnancy test comes back negative, Grace Bengu convinces her to leave Mr. Bengu. Zintle swears to herself that she will destroy Mr. Bengu and his family, and she's got herself a gun. When she wipes away her makeup, it reveals some scars around her face. Mr. Bengu calls another family meeting and tells his daughter Linda,
"Be ready to show me why I should choose you as my successor."
This raises a few eyebrows because the family had expected Mr. Bengu to make his older son Phila his successor. Zintle starts her plan of destruction by planting drugs in Mr. Bengu's oldest son Phila's office, which leads to conflict when Mr. Bengu finds it.
What the hell is this?
That's not mine.
Doing drugs at work now?
It's not mine.
How many times have I
I don't do this at the office.
So you admit that you still do it?
Mr. Bengu then reveals to his son Phila and his daughter Linda that the other side of their beauty empire is the illegal manufacturing of skin bleaching products. Phila is completely outraged and is against this illegal operation, but Linda is accepting of it. So Mr. Bengu decides to name Linda as the next CEO of the company. It's revealed through flashbacks that Mr. Bengu and his wife Grace met Zintle and her siblings when she was a child. They perform experiments on them, but they do not recognize Zintle now that she's older. They think she died in a fire that happened at the warehouse where they were keeping her siblings and some other children to experiment bleaching products on. Zintle and Mr. Bengu's youngest son, Ndu, grow close and end up making love. I guess he does have race after all. Mr. Bengu hosts a dinner for the Bengu Foundation and announces he'll be stepping down as CEO, and his daughter Linda will be taking over as the new CEO. As soon as this announcement is made, a video goes public exposing Linda of having an affair with Mr. Bengu's second wife, Kando. Busted. Mr. Bengu is shocked as pandemonium breaks out. Mr. Bengu forces Thando to sign divorce papers straight away and ends their marriage, then makes Linda sign a letter of resignation and kicks them both out of his house. He then makes his son Phila the new CEO, and Phila is somehow now very accepting of the illegal skin bleaching operation. Grace Bengu finds out about Zintle and Ndu's relationship. Their relationship grows closer as they fall deeper in love. But after Zintle finds out that the Bengu's illegal bleaching operation is still active, she tells Ndu that
It's over.
Zintle then convinces Phila to accompany her to a party. Zintle's brother Bonga, who's been helping her all along, goes to the warehouse where the illegal bleaching operation is being carried out and sets it on fire. Zintle and Phila happen to be driving past the warehouse. Phila, recognizing the warehouse, stops and goes inside and tries to save the bleaching product. But as he's doing this, a reporter turns up and catches him in the act. The news of this scandal ends up on national television, and the Bengus begin to panic. Zintle goes to see Bonga and is shocked to find that he's kidnapped the scientist who was working in the warehouse when he set it on fire. This is also the same scientist who was working with Mr. Bengu and Grace Bengu and helped to perform the experiments on Zintle and her brothers when they were children. And this man recognizes them, so they can't let him go. They manage to convince him to help take down the Bengus, but before he can expose the Bengus, he's kidnapped and shot to death by Mr. Bengu. Even though Linda is still exiled from her family, she's been keeping a close eye on events and begins to suspect that Zintle is the one working against her family. With her attempts to destroy the Bengus not going as planned, Zintle then decides to seduce Mr. Bengu. And her plan is working. He invites her to a hotel, gives her a gift and tries to kiss her. But Zintle rejects him and leaves. When Grace Bengu sees Zintle wearing the gift that Mr. Bengu gave her, she thinks they're having an affair. So she throws Zintle into the swimming pool, tries to drown her and then kicks her out of the house. But as Zintle is leaving, Mr. Bengu arrives. So in a final act of desperation, she tells him that she has feelings for him. He takes her back into the house and tells Grace that he's going to marry Zintle. Zintle then meets up with Thando, and Thando reveals to Zintle that she had a miscarriage because Grace Bengu poisoned her. Zintle records this conversation and plays it to Mr. Bengu, who kicks out Grace for being a spiteful old witch. But Grace doesn't take this lying down. She vows to fight, saying,
This is a war you can't win.
Phila quits Bengu Beauty and leaves with his mother, so Mr. Bengu is left with just Zintle. Mr. Bengu then decides his wedding to Zintle must happen at the end of the week.
Don Bengu was the face of Bengu.
Zintle's brother Bonga goes home and finds Mr. Bengu waiting for him. Mr. Bengu offers him money, but Bonga refuses. He wants Mr. Bengu to go to prison for testing bleaching products on children. He pulls out a gun on Mr. Bengu, but Mr. Bengu grabs it and they tussle and the gun goes off. When Zintle arrives at Bonga's house, she finds him bleeding on the floor from a gunshot wound. He tells her that Mr. Bengu shot him. As Zintle is taking Bonga to the hospital, he dies in the back of the car. Zintle goes back to the house and retrieves her hidden gun. She then goes to Mr. Bengu and persuades him to drink a bottle of the cleansing juice that he gave her, but unfortunately for him, she poisoned it. As he struggles to breathe, she pulls out a gun on him and tells him that she'll call an ambulance if he confesses to all his crimes. She also reveals to him that she was one of the children that he and Grace experimented the bleaching products on. She then recalls his confession, but as she's leaving, he tries to attack her, so she gun butts him. He lays on the floor motionless. She didn't mean to kill him, but now she has to hide the body. So she puts Mr. Bengu's body in the boot of her car and tries to drive away. But as she's leaving, Mr. Bengu's youngest son, Endu, pulls up in front of her. Before she can decide what to do, Mr. Bengu's eyes snap open. He is still alive. And with that, we conclude season 1 of Savage Beauty. Peace, I'm out.